Welcome to Rauta and review from a Finnish band with their debut album, The Lifted Whale, which I have here for unboxing purposes. Before we go into that, let's quickly take a look at the band's history so far. Founded in 2014, a couple of EPs out. This debut album is now out after 10 years of existence, and basically this band is said to be coming from two different cities quite apart from one another and playing black and death metal. Genocidal Bliss of Heaven features about 42 minutes. There are no track lengths, but having the CD I know, and the style is indeed black and death metal. Now let's go for the actual physical product and see what this is all about. Released through Grind to Death Records, this is like picking some of the mediocre parts from both styles. It's all the way fast, it's all the way feeling like you're listening to extreme metal album and all, but let me be honest about it. While this album is not bad by no means, there are lots of elements which kind of showcase why combining black and death metal doesn't always work like a charm. First of all, this album seems like there's only one tempo, and that is just going all the way fast. While there's nothing wrong with that if you're doing Panzer Division Marduk, a lot of bands fail to do it, so it's captivating. When you lack variety, sometimes it just feels like there's a kind of machine going on in the background and then you forget all about it. Putting it in another way, it lacks a punch because it kind of gets too repetitive. On top of that, you have lots of intense riffing, which is not always very interesting. I would even go as far as to say these guys sometimes forget that combining the best of both worlds doesn't really work unless you really put effort into that. That being said, this lacks both the death metal heaviness and brutality as well as black metal grimness. Some bands are able to do it and put together, but even bands like Belphegor are not always able to make it very intense. I'm saying this in a sense that it means you have certain black metal grimness, and if you go for the production wise for that area, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get the gold grim, somewhat rawish impression, and then when you have the raspy vocals, you're like, okay, this is grim and evil and coming from the dungeons and caverns and all. Now when you go for the death metal department, you probably want a little bit different production. You want more growly vocals and all that stuff, and then you sound more heavy and brutal, but maybe not as grim and cold. Guess what happened with The Lifted Whale? They sound nothing like that. They sound like neither of the styles, which puts them in the very middle. For some people it's gonna work like a charm. For a lot of people it's gonna feel like it's neither proper death metal, it's not proper black metal, but kind of a weird compromise. Now, first of all, the vocals are quite okay when it comes to the more growlier take. They're just too silent in the mix, not loud enough that is, and it lacks as such power. It feels a little bit shame because, in my opinion, this should have had the push to put it on the top of things, like really sounding like a beast. Now it's more like a tamed beast, and we all know what it means. When it comes to the riffs, they're not bad as such, but they're not really catchy, really memorable. It's more like you do the kind of a basic bulk thing from both black and death metal world, and sounding like, yeah, these are the filler riffs. And as such, the result is it's not that interesting album. I mean, I get what the guys are going for, but they are almost like compromising too much, and it's kind of a shame really, because there are a lot of potential. I would say, in my opinion only, this is better in the terms of black metal department than in death metal. The death metal parts are more boring on this album than the black metal ones, and already the vocalist is able, you can hear it from the very beginning. You can hear that the guy has a good voice, I mean raw and unpolished and all. But when it comes to the whole thing, it's more like you're not doing proper death metal, not proper black metal, but just a compromise. So I hope these guys will fix it later on. Now it's more like an interesting in theory rather than in practice. But what do I know? Give it a chance if you want to listen to this one, and then you know it for sure. It's been released on the 5th of April. That is when I'm filming this video, so by the time you get to see it's already been out for a while, and if you like it, go for a physical copy, and if not, well, just wait until the next album is out. This is Rauta, this is my take on the album, so do whatever you wish, and see you later with more reviews coming your way.